What's going on, everyone? Superstar Steve here again for another episode of One Take Live, the show where I talk about things that interest me, hopefully interest you, put it to some gameplay, put it on the internet, and there we go, we've got a show. So today's show is all about WWE Fastlane that's coming up in a couple of days' time. Interesting show leading up to WrestleMania, so we'll get into that. First things first, though, I want to talk about another topic. I'm thinking I've got a couple of other side projects going at the moment, and what I'm thinking of doing is also releasing a podcast. Now the podcast will feature basically the audio from these YouTube videos. So I think at the start I'll probably just use the audio about previews and reviews of the wrestling events, and the rest that I normally talk about probably won't go to a podcast straight away, but you never know what happens down the future. We've got some other projects going, so depending how they all go, we may expand that. But yes, getting back onto the topic of today's video is WWE Fastlane preview. So let's get into it with some matchups. We've got the first one, Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa versus the Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. Now, I haven't really paid too much attention to the cruiserweights because they're getting there. They're not quite there for me yet, so I don't really watch their matches in too much detail. For this one, who am I going to pick? Probably Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa because the Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar had wins this week on Raw. Usually the way they do it is if you're going to win at the pay-per-view, you lose on the last Raw. So that's usually the way it's done. So I'm going to go with Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa there. The next one we got is Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. Now, interesting here because Nia has run through Sasha every single time they've faced each other. But for me, I'm picking Sasha on this one, and I'm picking Sasha for a pretty good reason because I'm looking at the bigger picture where they're going with this. Leading into WrestleMania, who are they going to put against? I get who the champion. I might as well say now. Charlotte will be the champion going into WrestleMania. But who are they going to put against her? If Bayley loses, Bayley's got credible reason for having a rematch because she was the ex-champ. She's got a rematch clause. Nia Jax beat Bayley on Raw this week, so Nia Jax is going to come into the fray and say, well, I beat you, I should have a chance. And if Sasha beats Nia at the pay-per-view, then Sasha can say, well, I beat you, Nia, I should have a chance. So I think they're moving into a fatal four-way at WrestleMania with Charlotte being the champion and eventually Charlotte losing. Here's an early prediction for you. Nia Jax wins the championship at WrestleMania. You heard it here first, folks. So moving on to the next match. We got the Raw Tag Team Champions, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass. It would be nice to see Enzo and Big Cass win their first title, but I think Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson will pick up the victory here. I just feel like there has been enough build for a title change yet. So that's my thoughts on that one. The next one we got is the Cruiserweight Champion the Cruiserweight Champion Neville versus Jack Gallagher. Now, I don't think Jack Gallagher's going to win this. I think he's the flavor of the month this month. He'll versus Neville. Neville defeat him and retain his title on that. Neville's just a great champion. His mannerisms are ridiculously good. The way he speaks without involving the crowd, the way he doesn't pander to the audience. He comes in, marches in, excuse me, he marches into the match, gets the job done, holds up the title, frowns at the camera, and leaves. He doesn't pander to them. He doesn't yell at them for him to cheer him. He is what a true heel champion should be. So I think Neville's going to get the victory there. We've got Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe is going to win that one because he's got to build momentum going to WrestleMania. I'm not sure how they'll play it out with Seth Rollins, knowing that Seth is injured, or potentially injured, as they'd have you to believe. But it looks like Seth is going to be at WrestleMania because of Raw this week. He said he's going to call out Triple H, so I think they need Samoa Joe fighting fit and in red hot form to be there to back up Triple H. So I think they can keep Samoa Joe as the powerhouse he is, not give him a loss, and I think he'll get the victory. The next match we've got is the Raw Women's Championship with Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. Woo! So I think Charlotte Flair's going to win this one. We're going to go 17-0 at pay-per-views, going to beat Bayley, and then go on to WrestleMania as the champion, which I think she will lose at, but as far as the streak goes, it will continue, I believe, through this pay-per-view, and that'll give credible reason for all three of the challengers to fight her at WrestleMania. And all three women have worked very hard this year. They've basically been the division amongst themselves, so I think they all deserve the shot at WrestleMania, and we'll see if that prediction is right as well. So the next match we've got is the big dog. They're not a good guy, not a bad guy. Everyone hates me, Roman Reigns. Sorry guys. Versus the monster, the animal, Braun Strowman. Who do I think is going to win here? I think Braun Strowman gets the victory. I think he gets the victory because I think The Undertaker comes out. I think The Undertaker causes a distraction from Roman Reigns. And I think The Undertaker causes Roman to lose and Braun to win. Braun gets happy because he wins. Roman needs needs an opponent and needs revenge for WrestleMania, which The Undertaker will be. Where does that leave Braun Strowman in terms of a match at WrestleMania? I think he'll probably go in the Memorial Battle Royal, and I think he'll probably win that. Interesting dynamic if he goes up against... you got the likes of Baron Corbin, you got the Wyatt family, if any of them are in it. But that would further cement his place as a monster if he can go in there and win that and become dominant over however many other guys that are going to be in the match. So I think Roman loses because of an interference of some sort by The Undertaker. Braun wins, and that's the end of that chapter between those two. Finally, we've got the Universal Championship with Kevin Owens versus Goldberg. Now, I've got three scenarios played out in my head here. Not sure how it's going to go. Well, I think I know. I think they'll go with the easy option. But every now and then they do throw up a change to the expected outcome, and it does catch me off It does catch me off guard at sometimes. So here's what I think will win. What'll happen, sorry. I think Goldberg will beat Kevin Owens in a decent match. I don't think Kevin Owens will win one-on-one. Here's two other scenarios that could play out. Jericho comes out, interferes in some sort, and causes Kevin Owens to lose. That would give credence to Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Is Jericho staying around that long? I don't know. I was speaking to a mate the other day, and he said Jericho was leaving because he had a Fozzy tour. So, is Jericho going to interfere at all, or is it he done for the moment and he's going on tour with Fozzy? I don't know. So the next scenario, Brock Lesnar comes out, causes Goldberg to lose. Somehow. Or causes Kevin Owens to win by disqualification. Causes Goldberg to win by disqualification by attacking him, beating him up before WrestleMania because he hasn't gotten a victory. He needs to get one up. He needs to get something under his belt in terms of momentum. So he could do that. Come to think of it, I think there has to be some sort of interference. And I think it has to be by Jericho to cause Owens to lose, because otherwise Owens doesn't have an opponent at WrestleMania. So I think Jericho comes out, Owens loses, Goldberg wins, Goldberg goes to Mania for the title. Kevin faces Jericho in some sort of fight because he caused him to lose his championship. There you go. Done. So, yeah, they're my predictions for this weekend's Fastlane pay-per-view. Hopefully you agreed with all that. I think that's pretty much all I've got to say today. You may have noticed the sound quality is a little better this week. I played around with my new microphone and identified the optimal way to record using it. So hopefully you get a little bit of better sound quality this week. But that's about all I've got time for. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you like the gameplay. I'll catch you all at the review show of Fastlane, and we can go over my prediction and the results and see what happened and what developed in the lead up to WrestleMania. Thanks for watching. Bye.